All right, so this is Rittman, has all these questions about God, so we're going to read the Bible, correct?
Yes.
So we're going to start at the beginning.
Actually, I only have one question.
What?
Sorry. What is God?
Well, maybe we'll find out in here. Are you ready?
Yes.
So we'll start with Genesis, the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was the formless and empty. Darkness was empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." What?
I need to question the videos that watch this. The people the people that watch this. What is God? If you know that, comment.
If you know it, comment. All right. So where was I? And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it.
Why does it say from water to why does it say we separate water from water? Because like streams and oceans and stuff like that.
I don't know, but let me finish the sentence. And it was so God called the vault sky. And there was evening, and there was morning, and the second day. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let the dry ground appear." And it was so. God called the dry ground. What did he call the dry ground?
He called it dirt.
Land. And
I thought dirt.
you thought dirt? Well, dirt is land.
So
Land.
I think so. I'm basically kind of right.
You're kind of right, correct. And there gathered the waters he called the seas, and God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit, and the seed in it, according to their
Wait, was God lonely?
delicious kinds." Was God lonely?
Yeah.
Probably.
Wait. Then after he made the earth and of the heavens, then was what's his name?
Adam.
What? No.
God?
God?
No, God's son.
Jesus?
Yeah, Jesus. Then was Jesus born?
Not for a long time.
When was Jesus born?
Well, we'll have to find out. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seeds according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seeds in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning. That was the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as the signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the vault on the sky and give the light on the earth."
Dad?
What?
I wanted to know, what is the vault?
The vault is like the earth and the different
Like the thing that separates
space,
stuff?
correct. Like the space between the earth and the sky is the sky. And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. So what would be the greater light at day? Anyone?
Sun.
The sun.
The sun.
And the moon and the stars would be the night.
Oh wait, I thought you were talking about the sun.
Yeah. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate the light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, and it was the fourth day. And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about it according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, "Be thankful and increase in number, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, and it was the fifth day.
That's a lot of days.
It's a lot of days.
Wait, how many days were there?
We'll have to see.
Like over like Google.
Google it. And God said,
Over the number Google.
all over the number Google? Correct. What's Google? Is that one with how many zeros?
Infinity.
I think it's 99.
No, it's infinity.
It's infinity? All right. And God said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. Are you not going to sit here and listen?
No, I'm looking like this.
I know. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good.
Dad,
What?
when did God make human, the first human?
Well, bet you it comes up. We got to figure out.
Is that the last page?
Nope, it's coming down here, I bet, though. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image." Oh, it's coming up. "In our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over the creatures that move along the ground." So God created mankind in his own image.
Wait, mankind is his. So basically, it's him. It's his face.
Yeah, it's his face. God created mankind in his own image. What?
I remember seeing at the polka God little symbol the God statue.
At the park?
Yeah.
Did you?
In the middle of the park.
Yeah.
The God statue.
What did it look like? Come up here on the bed.
God. It looks like a big humongous ghost, which is God.
A ghost?
Yeah, humongous ghost, which was God, because it said God on it.
All right. In the image of God, he created them. A male and a female, he created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." Then God said, "I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with its seed in it. They will be yours for food. And to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has the breath of life in it, I give every green plant for food." And it was so. Yes. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was everything, and there was morning, and it was the sixth day. Thus the heavens and earth were compiled, and in all their vast array. Yep, that was the sixth day.
It's almost 1 week.
Yep. By the seventh day, God had finished the work. What?
Do you pass the poem about humans?
No,
he just talked
I just
about
talked
them.
about that. God created mankind in his own image. Give me the penny so you can pay attention.
Okay.
Didn't you just ask your question about that?
Stop. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all the work. Then God blessed the seventh day, and he made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done.
Does that mean every boy looks like God?
Yes, every boy looks like God in God's image, some way or another.
And girls look like God's wife?
Yep, looks like God's wife.
What gender looks like God's son?
What gender would God's son be?
If anyone knows, tell me it.
He's a boy.
No,
If he's a son, he has to be a boy. What's a boy? What genders are boys?
Boys.
They're males?
No, boys.
Boys?
Boy,
Do you have a question?
what does God have a wife, and what is her name?
I don't think he has a wife, but I could be wrong, and we might find it
I
here.
think God has a wife, because then how does he have a child?
I don't know. Let's figure it out. All right. Adam and Eve. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created. When the Lord God made the earth and the heavens.
Wait, so the first person born is in grave? I think the first person
Probably.
probably in heaven. Wait, I think the first person born was God.
You think the first person born was God?
Yeah.
It'd probably be like an animal, like a dinosaur that was first born.
You think? Now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord, hold on, let me finish the paragraph. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Merlin first, go ahead.
Okay, how was God made? Is my question.
I don't know that answer.
He wasn't made.
He wasn't?
Was he like made by? Was he just there?
It's
No,
just a
he-
spark.
I think I think that God was the first one there, but then I think he made dinosaurs, and then I think people made it.
I didn't know God has nostrils.
Nostrils?
Yeah.
What?
Where did I say something about nostrils?
He said he breathed into the man's nostrils.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm sure God has nostrils, but no, he created Adam out of dust, and then God breathed into his nose, and then Adam came alive. But I'm sure God has nostrils. It's also.
Who's Adam?
We're about to find out.
Is Adam God's son?
Yes. Yes.
So he's basically Adam is also
Is Eve his daughter?
Yes. Well,
If you read
let's read. This is going to get weird. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground. What?
So God has two sons?
He has a lot of sons.
Like how much sons?
All of us are the sons. Are his sons, correct?
You know, if they
Oh,
goes
since
all
our
wide.
grandparents, since our like great
Correct. Like grandsons and
they were born
granddaughters.
from there, like from.
So
Adam and Eve.
God's all grandparents?
Yep, we can
All
say that.
grandparents because he made us
Yes.
and he expected us to be born.
Yep, and expected you to be born. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden where the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil is. What's in the middle of the garden?
Wait,
You
what
want
were
me to read
you
it
talking?
again?
What were you talking about, Cobb?
Listen, in the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the
Wait.
knowledge of good and evil.
Wait, where could you find a tree of life?
In the middle of the garden.
But what garden?
The Garden of Eden.
What is the garden of Eden?
We're about to find out.
Alright, it was where.
I don't know.
Alright, listen again. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in the Eden.
Okay.
In Eden. Alright.
Wait, is
Eden's a city.
it's
Eden's a city, so he planted a garden in the east of Eden. In the middle of the garden was a tree of life and of
so
knowledge
if you
of
dig,
good and evil.
Wait, so if you dig inside of that garden, you could find a tree.
Correct, in the middle of the garden.
Is Eden a state?
This is just
Eden would be like
confusing
a
me.
city. Do you just want to read more tomorrow?
No, I
Sure.
was just going to get a drink.
Well, hold on, go ahead. We'll read more tomorrow. We're
This
at
is a big
chapter
book.
10. Yes.